Well, we are going to go ahead and get started here today. Thank you so much for attending this webinar here. My name is Brooks Burnett from Remodel Reach Marketing. Thank you so much for doing so and attending or watching this webinar here. And so today we're going to just go ahead and get right into it. So today we're going to cover a very important topic on SEO, okay? And so we are going to go over live here in this webinar exactly how to rank for the term kitchen remodeler near me. And we're going to go over some SEO tips and secrets for the remodeling industry specifically. And so just to get things started here, so a quick calendar or table of contents here. So we're going to talk about SEO and understanding exactly what it is, in terms of remodelers. Okay. So again, you can go to Google, you can type in what is SEO, you can learn a little bit about it, but until you understand that SEO is, until you understand your industry and how it applies to the industry as a whole, to the remodeling industry, you can't really apply what exactly SEO is and what you can do with it. And so then we're going to look at exactly what is on-page SEO and what you can do or what you can take to your web developer and tell them to do and give them instructions on what to do here. Then we're going to look at some SEO secrets, some of those tips that are specifically, excuse me, again, for remodelers. And then we're going to have our usual Q&A session here. And so to get things started, why listen to me? Why am I this guy talking here? And so my name is Brooks Burnett again. Here. And so I own an agency called Remodel Reach Marketing, and we focus specifically on home remodeling contractors and making sure that your business is represented correctly and represented in a way that gives justice to your company. Okay. Because, a lot of remodelers do amazing, beautiful work, beautiful projects and things like that, but then they don't actually have a website or an online presence that reflects the work that they do. And so that's what the goal is. And that's what the goal of SEO is too, kind of getting ahead of myself. And so I have 7 years of online marketing experience, specialize in marketing only for remodeling contractors. I'm a member of some of the nation's biggest associations for the industry here. And so happy to have you guys join us today. And so let's get going. Why bother with SEO? So SEO again stands for search engine optimization. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into that in just a second. But before that, around 90% or even more, right? I mean, it could be up to 50% or 95%, right? Around 90 to 95% of searchers go to Google when they are looking for a service-based business. Okay, so you know, and on top of that, the quote near me searchers or searches, people typing in near me, painter near me, remodeling near me, landscaper near me has grown by 500% in just the past 5 years. Okay, and so when you rank high on Google, when you show up at the top of the page, the authority of your business goes through the roof. Okay. So some people might not have any idea who you are, your business. They've never seen any projects that you've done. They don't even know exactly what it is that you guys do. But just by seeing your business ranked at the top, that automatically put something in people's minds where they just trust your business. Okay. They see your reviews, for example, they see the name of your business and maybe a quick description, things like that. And so SEO is the most important thing. Okay. Ads are great. Social media is great. All these other email marketing is great. All these things are really good, but SEO is by far the most important thing that you can do for your online presence. And so let's go into how we can do that and talk about how we can increase your visibility here. And so it helps with your credibility before they reach out. More visibility equals more projects. People are seeing you for those keywords that they're looking for. So in our specific instance here, kitchen remodeler near me. Okay. So now, before we get started here too, so relying on referrals is something that I see quite often in the remodeling industry, very often actually. And so those are great, obviously, those are the highest quality lead that you're going to find basically, right? But If you're looking for other opportunities in other areas where you can grow your lead flow, SEO again is the most important thing. Okay, again, more visibility equals more projects. Okay, and so that's going to be something you hear quite a bit. So now, before we get started here too, a quick disclaimer. So we are going to go over some very important pieces to the SEO puzzle and some very, very important things that can help you get ranked and will help your page rank. But there's also over 100 things that Google calls ranking factors when ranking one business over another. Okay, so they look at, in simple terms, they look at over 100 different things, like how fast your website is, the number of people that come to your website already, how long your website's been online. There's all these different things, but what we're going to talk about today is the most important thing out of all of those ranking factors. Okay, and so just keep in mind there are more things than just what we're going to talk about today, but this is the most important. So, understanding more about SEO. So, to understand SEO, you must first understand Google. Google does not care about you. They do not care about your business, okay? They do not care about anybody's business, really. What they care about is their searchers, people who come to Google and type in restaurants near me, Italian restaurants near me, t-shirts, college football t-shirts, whatever. People who come to Google and ask them questions or ask where to find things. That's Google's target. That's who they want to come to their website and then make searches. If they don't have searchers, they don't have advertisers, right? That's how they make money. That's how Google makes money with Google Ads and things like that. And so when we put that in perspective, that Google doesn't really care about us or our business, they care about providing the highest quality search result to their searchers. When we understand that, we can then say, okay, our job is to then tell Google that we are the best fit. Okay. So when someone types in kitchen remodeler near me, Google has to then go through all of the businesses, all of the websites that are out there and determine, okay, this person is in this location and they're asking for kitchen remodeling. What businesses, what websites out there can provide the best result for this person? And they do that for every search, right? Someone searching for t-shirts. Okay, what t-shirt company, what t-shirt brand do we think will give this person what they're looking for? And so if we understand that, then we can take that information back and then again just say, hey, Google, here is our information. Here's information about our kitchens. Here's information about our location. And so please show us. Show us at the top. When someone types in kitchen remodel near me, put us up there. And so all of our job, simply what we're having to do at this second tick mark here, simply we're just giving Google the right information. Okay, we're giving them the proper information that they can then use to rank us. So you can't pay Google to come up in the SEO results. Okay, it is not advertising. Search engine optimization is simply website manipulation where you do things on your website to tell Google that you are the best option. You are the best option when someone types in kitchen remodeler near me, kitchen remodeler, your town name, your town name. And so I hope that makes a little bit of sense. That's ultimately the goal. Google is looking for the best result, and we are telling Google we are the best result. Your business is the best result. Okay? And so I hope this works here. I'm gonna back out here and show just for example here. So I hope, yes, sorry, it looks like everyone can see this. And so when we type in, I just typed in the area for one of my clients here, a New Day Construction. And so when we type in kitchen remodeler, their town, this town that they live in, when we type that in, we see that they rank at the top here. Okay. And so we see that they're currently ranking at the top. You've got some ads up here, right, that are at the top, but that's a different story. Go watch my previous webinars on local service ads and advertising. But so again, Google sees their website and sees, okay, they are the best option for when someone types in kitchen remodeler, Winder, Georgia, which is their town. Okay. I can't type near me because I don't live in Winder. So that's the reason that's there. And so we'll come back to their website and look at examples, but we're going to continue on here. My gosh, hold on one second. I'm sorry about this. Let's see. Oh, nope, I clicked the wrong button. Click share. All right. So, so again, SEO stands for search engine optimization, website manipulation. We're trying to rank in the organic section. So that list that I just showed you here, we're not talking about Google Maps. Google Maps, that's a separate video or that's a separate webinar. I'll probably do next month's webinar on that, since they're so similar, but we're talking about how to rank below the map section in that organic area there. So where those lists were that I just showed you. All right, so let's get into it. So on-page SEO. On-page SEO means what you see on your website, on your page. Okay, so off-page SEO is kind of like the coding that you might see, people doing, tagging, anything that's not front-facing on your website. Okay, and so if you want to rank for a service like kitchen remodeling, then you have to have a page for it. Okay. You cannot just simply say on your homepage, the homepage of your website, list out all the services that you have and list out, kitchen, we do kitchens, bathrooms, basements, accessory buildings, whatever. You can't just list that out. You have to have a full page because, again, we are giving Google the proper information. And so to do that properly, we need to have a page specifically for each one of the each one of the services that you have, in particular for us, kitchens. Okay. So you want to create a service page that is only focused on kitchen remodeling. That's the only thing you're going to talk about on this page here. Make sure all of the titles involve some type of keyword kitchen remodeling. Okay. So the title of your page could be kitchen remodelers in your town. Okay. Or outstanding kitchen remodeling, kitchen remodeler or kitchen design build remodelers, whatever you want to say, it just needs to have those keywords in there somewhere. And then every subsequent title needs to have some type of kitchen remodeler in there as well. Okay. And so once the titles of your sections are all laid out, then you need to have at least 1,000 words of usable information. So not just something called keyword stuffing. I don't know if I have that here. Yep, this one here, avoid keyword stuffing. That's where you just kind of fill the page with keywords, just, bullet points, or, you just kind of fill it over and over and over again. That's called keyword stuffing. Do not do that. So you're going to write at least 1,000 words of good, readable, easily to understand content that are, again, all focused on kitchen remodeling. Okay. And so some of your sections could be about the different services. So like if you're doing cabinets, kitchen cabinet resurfacing or installation, another section, you can have another section on countertops and how that involves, that's involved with your kitchen remodeling, your flooring, your lighting, and so you can have a lot of different sections, but it's all centered around kitchen remodeling. Okay. And so you're going to want to include pictures, obviously, that are just of kitchen remodeling. And then have your web developer, or if you have access to your website, you can go in and change the title of the picture to include kitchen remodeling. Okay, so you want to include that because, again, we're telling Google scans the images, they see what they're titled, and so we're telling Google, hey, this is a picture of kitchen remodeling. And so again, it's just adding more information, adding more fuel to that fire that Google will use to rank your page. Okay, so on your page, you need to tell your web developer to make your title tag contain the term kitchen remodeling. The tags on your website or on your page need to involve kitchen remodeling. And so, what does that look like in practice here? So again, I'm going to try and do this. Hopefully this doesn't mess up. Okay. And so this is the page for A New Day Construction, that business that was ranking at the top here. And so you can see the title that we have for this area is Kitchen Remodeling for Northeast Georgia Homes, and then a subheader, a subtitle of Serving Winder, Athens, Jefferson, and then so on and so forth, different cities. Okay, this is what works for this particular website and this client here. We have pictures, good high quality pictures. Your website still needs to be super high quality. I can't stress that enough. Very good quality pictures, good readable information. And so we've got fresh start for your kitchen. We've got a video here of the owner doing a walkthrough. That's about a kitchen project. And so then we have more information that Google can then use, right? So we've got things about craftsmanship, local, we're listing out other areas, under other communities and things like that. And so you're feeding Google the right information while still being readable to the average consumer, okay, to the average person who would come to your website. Because that's what Google really cares about. They don't want you to keyword stuff, not because it doesn't work or not for any personal reason, but an average person who comes to your website and sees a bunch of keywords just bullet pointed out, they don't like that search result, right? They're not going to want to read that or stay on that page. And so if Google ranks all these businesses that have keyword stuffed results, no one's going to go to Google anymore. They're going to go to DuckDuckGo or ChatGPT, right? They're going to go somewhere else. And so Google doesn't want that. So they do not want you to keyword stuff. Okay, got some galleries here. Got different sections, how your kitchen remodel unfolds. We've got this company's design process, but again, it's all centered around kitchen remodeling. And then also we're targeting their locations as well, which we're kind of jumping the gun there. We will talk about that here in a second. Got a pricing guide. And so this is just kind of an example of how your page should look. Okay. So, we're breaking up the information, adding good quality content, good quality pictures, information about the business, but it's all centered around kitchen remodeling. And so when I said here earlier, talk to your web developer about the tags and the title tag of your website, that is this. And so what comes up here, whenever I hover over this section, this is called your title tag or your meta tag. And so your meta tag is what the title of your page is to Google, okay, to search engines. And so the title tag that we have set up here, you can see is Expert Kitchen Remodeling in Georgia, and then the name of the company. And so we've got kitchen remodeling, kitchen remodel in Georgia, and we've got that in this title tag, okay? And so as you could see, they're ranking at the top. So each page needs to have a specific title tag that is specific to that page. If we went to some of their other service pages like bathroom remodeling, water damage, decks and porches, all of these different things, they all have their own title tags, right? Their meta tags here, or meta title rather, excuse me. And so they've all got their own unique page with all content focused around that specific service, and they each have their own unique title tags. All the pictures are tagged as kitchen remodeling. And so this is just an example of what it might look like. Every business is different. Not every business wants to have a pricing guide, so that's not what this is about. We can talk about that later. Got some before and after pictures, things like that. And so everybody's different, but the point still stands here. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Now, let's see here. Let's keep going. So let's keep going here. So we already talked about the on-page SEO. Tell your web developer to make the title tag contain the term kitchen remodeling. I see that missed very often. That's very often, and it's a very quick fix for someone who knows how to do it. Okay. So there's a lot of information about the on page. Now we're going to talk about some other things that you need to do and other things that you can do here. More information and some of these secrets for the on-page SEO, your location pages, your local pages. Okay. And so just like we tell Google the services that you do, we just looked at a page for kitchen remodeling. You're going to do the exact same thing for your locations. Okay, you're going to have a page for each one of the locations that you serve, like a big city, okay, or a central city, depending on where you live, right? But you are again, you're telling Google, show us for someone searching in this area, in this local area. And so you're putting those locations, you're treating them just the same as you would kitchen remodel. Okay, you saw on that page in all of the content, in the titles and things like that, you saw kitchen remodeling all throughout it. But then on top of that, you would see the names of the towns and the names of the cities all throughout the information. Again, because we're trying to tie kitchen remodeling and the location together for Google. We're trying to tell Google and get them to understand we do kitchen remodeling in these locations, in these areas. And so, what you do is just simply create a page for each one of your service areas. Okay. And so, in terms of our kitchen remodeling, right? In terms of the kitchen remodeling page that you're going to create, fill it full of your locations, the cities that you serve, right? Like we did here, put the good information in there, but then also you're going to create service area pages that are specifically about each location, okay? And so we've got different pages for each one of these areas that this business serves here, okay? And all the different cities and all the different counties, okay? And so that's what you're going to do. But in terms, if you're just wanting to rank for kitchen remodeler near me, you've got to put information about kitchens, and then you've got to put information about where you are so Google can tie them together. So that way, when someone in one of those towns, when they type in near me, Google automatically knows, hey, this business is in their area. This business does kitchen remodeling. We're going to show them first. Okay. So let's see, keep going here. So use high value keywords. Okay. Do not use, so you want to focus on kind of the big picture when you're thinking about your keywords. Okay. Really, as long as you're using kitchen remodel or kitchen remodelers, kitchen construction, I don't know, maybe, you want to be specific, but you don't want to, you don't want to use keywords that, would not be associated with your or with kitchens. Okay. So if you're like, kitchen sink, you know, installation. You don't need to do that, right? You don't need to do things like kitchen floor installation, kitchen floor installers. If you do that, right? If you obviously you probably do the floor and the flooring, but then if you want to mention that on your page, you can, but then you need to frame it in terms of flooring for kitchen remodeling, or here is our flooring for our kitchen remodeling projects. Okay, so use those high value keywords. Just be smart about it. The page is about kitchen remodeling, so stick to those keywords about kitchens and kitchen remodeling. And so the last thing is reviews. Okay, so reviews is something that doesn't directly play into it, right? Obviously, we're not talking about getting reviews, but reviews are probably the second most important thing when it comes to ranking your business. So, all that content, everything we've talked about today is around the first one. It varies in the top five of importance to Google out of that list of 100 that we talked about earlier. But getting reviews is always like one or two, like the first or second most important. So get reviews. I say it every single time, every single webinar. And so, yes, please, 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 please try and get reviews. Okay. Whatever you can, however way you can. All right. And so, in conclusion, Increased visibility equals more calls, but also more high quality calls. All right. And so, because again, if someone is looking for a $50,000 bathroom remodel, they're a forever homeowner, they've been around for a long time. My camera is going blurry here, so let me shut that off real quick. They're forever homeowners. They just simply want a good, high quality job on their bathroom. They're not necessarily concerned fully about budget. If a customer like that sees you at the top of Google, that is automatically going to increase your stock with them. They're going to value your company already more. Okay. And on top of that, they're seeing you and finding you so they can reach out and call you. They're not having to dig through a bunch of your competitors to find you. Okay. And so this will lead to more jobs. But I want to stress that ranking on Google will increase the likelihood that high quality searchers are going to find you. Okay. And so ranking for searches like kitchen remodeling near me puts you directly in front of those homeowners. SEO is a long-term asset. I like to say it's a long-term solution and it's a long-term process for a long-term solution. So SEO, if you go and create a kitchen remodeling page on your website and you do everything that I laid out here today, you will not come up on the first page tomorrow. It takes Google a little bit of time to recognize your page, to see that information, and then rank your business. Okay. They do not take that information and then rank your business immediately. They don't change the rankings every day. I mean, they can, right? Your business might drop one position, might increase another position one day. But what you want to see is a steady increase over time. Each month, you want to see that page go up a little bit, then the next month go up a little bit more, and then soon it will be at the very top. And so SEO is a long-term asset, okay? And it provides long-term growth. SEO is the most important. People click on your SEO listing, they click on that way more than they click on ads. Paid ads stop when you stop paying, right? If you ain't paying Google, they ain't showing your ad, right? And so, but SEO continues to build authority, build trust, and provide steady lead flow. Okay, so SEO is the most important thing. And so the sooner you do this, the sooner you start optimizing, the sooner you will dominate local searches. Okay? So it takes time to see, but the sooner you get started, the sooner you will see those results, obviously. Okay? The sooner you start getting online reviews and start with that and start working on those, the sooner you will have over 100 reviews. And so, I hope that was valuable. If you would like a free consultation for your SEO, and so we can talk about what you need in terms of SEO, and I can go and do a deep dive with you and analyze what you've got, then you can put in the chat here, put your email into the chat here, and I'll be happy to connect with you, or go to my website, remodelreachmarketing.com. And so I hope that was valuable, and I appreciate you guys watching. And thank you so much if you're watching the replay. Thank you to those who have attended. I hope this was valuable to you. Very simple solution. Okay. Kitchen remodeling near me, create a page. You're telling Google what you want to show up for. And so you just have to be smart about it and then make it visually appealing, have the customer in mind when you create your page. And so now, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, have a good day. And so now, for those of you who are live here, we are having our Q&A session. You can put your questions into the Q&A section if you have one.